going down to Liverpool with the Bangles on a Sunday morning, and we'd like to welcome the gal who sang that song, Debbi Peterson from the very American girl group, the Bangles, and Mr. John Wicks from the all-male British group, the Records. Welcome, guys. Debbi Peterson and John Wicks.
Lovely to be here.
You are going to be here with another chap from England, Terry Sylvester, but he's not here. What happened to Terry?
Poor old Terry. I guess he had strep throat or something.
Yes, we just actually turned up for rehearsal, and the gear was all loaded in, and I heard somebody call my name, and it was Keith, the agent. He said, "Got some bad news," and I'm thinking, "Oh dear," and then he told us.
But he's okay.
Yeah, fortunately, but
Yeah.
strep throat's very serious, you know,
Yeah.
as you probably know.
Stuff.
You guys had a gig scheduled this evening at McCabe's in Santa Monica, which is now unfortunately canceled, but I heard it's rescheduled? Yeah? Keith, is it rescheduled? I believe January 12th.
Yes, Chris, it's rescheduled. Actually, it'll be playing with. We've made a trade. Sorry, Terry, but we traded you for Denny Lane, and Denny is doing the complete Band on the Run album on the 12th of January, and Debbie and John will be opening for Denny. So.
Did you guys know that?
I know you don't care about any of that stuff, Chris, but I just figured I'd mention, you know.
We did actually get told that, and we've got a bit of a rapport with Denny anyway, so it'll be cool.
Yeah.
Very good. For those of you who might not know or might be still half asleep, John Wicks is a member of a fine group called the Records. You might know Starry Eyes or Heart's Inner Eyes. John only writes songs about eyes. You're also an optician, aren't you, John?
That was Will's lyrics.
And Debbie, of course, a member of the Bangles. Her favorite foods are Italian, Mexican, and French. Her favorite TV shows are MASH, Gidget, The Monkees, The Galloping Gourmet, and The Partridge Family. Am I right on that?
Well,
come on, I got it from your website.
Oh, I don't know. That was years ago.
Oh, they've changed? The Galloping Gourmet is no longer your
I
favorite
did like that,
TV
though,
show?
especially when he was drinking fine wine.
Graham Kerr,
Yes,
right?
Graham Kerr.
Remember how we used to eat, like, he used to take a bite and he said,
Oh, he'd make it look so
yeah, you just
sensual
wanted
and
to rip it out of the
exciting.
television. So how did you two guys get together? You're an unlikely duo.
Well, we're a couple of blondes, you know.
Yeah, you are. Very blonde.
Two young blondes.
So really, how did you form this team?
Well, it's kind of a happy accident in many ways. We, as the Records, did a show, one of our first shows with a new lineup in Los Angeles, not long after I'd come to town, and it was at the Egyptian Theatre, and there was supposed to be this big thing in the papers about it with a photo and the whole thing. And I called up the manager at the time and said, like, hey, where's the photo? I said, there's just this little thing that says the Records. I mean, blink and you'll miss it, you know. Well, a dear friend now of mine, John Kalachi, who's here today, who was the Bangles tour manager, actually didn't blink and he didn't miss it. And he showed up, and my manager came to me and said, I want to introduce you to the tour manager of the Bangles. And
all managers talk that way, don't they?
Yeah, it was kind of being important. So that was my first meeting with John, and he said, well, I'm a fan, you know. I'm thinking, yeah, well, everybody says that, you know. But he really is a fan, a big fan, you know, and now a great friend. And so one thing led to another. We never actually played with the Bangles, but we got to go to loads of shows and then became friends. And now it seems churlish to say, hey, when are we going to play with you? Because we've got such a good friendship now. And bottom line is, it sort of one thing led to another, and we ended up talking about writing together, and here we are.
Here you are on a Sunday morning.
Yes.
Together.
John, you're very British. Any encounters with the Beatles in your life? You got to have a Beatles story.
Well, the one I did probably told you when I was on here with John Borak when he had his John Lennon book out. When I was, for those who never heard that, when I just left school, I had one of my many jobs, because I could never hold a job more than 3 months, because I wanted to be a Beatle. I'd be driving around delivering bicycle parts, and I lived not far from where he lived in Tittenhurst Park at Sunninghill. And one of these nice little village, and I'd drive around there and sit in the lay-by across the street, just in the hopes that I might catch sight of him. And then one day I'm in the little lane next to one of the perimeters, and I see this old beaten up Ford Thames van coming the other way. And I'm eating my sandwiches, and all of a sudden I nearly choke on it. I just see these round glasses, and it's Lennon driving this van. I'm just gobsmacked. So I like turn the car around and I follow him, and it goes around the corner and into the gates, and I'm kind of across the road, and I'm thinking, well, like I'm stalking him. This is
Yeah, what do I do
terrifying.
now?
Yeah, and I just remember thinking, I can't go over there. I mean, I wanted to, and he's in his like denim jacket. He had that hair, you know, about sort of, you know, ear length kind of thing, and I was just totally mesmerised. I mean, I'm seeing this guy, you know, and he had rope tied up around the handle of the back of the van. And he opened.
Was he
the
doing
boat,
some
took the
yard
rope-
work or something?
Yeah, I don't know what he was
doing?
doing.
Was
He
he in
took some stuff
disguise?
out, put some stuff in it.
Sounds
Roped
very
it back
un-John
up.
Lennon, you know,
Yeah.
driving a van.
Totally, yeah. Beat up thing. This thing was really beaten up. And he put the rope back round the handle of the back of the van, and you know, drove off towards Virginia Water. I remember, and I sort of drove off in pursuit. And I'm thinking,
Where am I going?
Where am I going? What am I doing? What am
Why
I
am I
going to do?
doing
Like cut
this?
him off and go, hey, John.
What year would this have been?
This would have been
Or era?
probably about I'm guessing 69-ish, you know, somewhere around that time, because that was the time I got escaped from school. Probably 69, yeah.
And he was alone.
He was. I think somebody else was in the van.
Yoko was in the back of the van.
Yeah. That was his New York period. Yeah, he was back and forth all the time. Yeah.
Wow, I like that story.
Yeah, it was
That's a
pretty
good
cool.
story.
Debbie, do you have any encounters with the Fab Four?
Almost encounter, actually. Unfortunately, I could have met Paul McCartney because we, the Bangles, did a little appearance at LIPA and the Liverpool Institute of Performing Arts,
Yeah.
and we were in Liverpool, and we got to speak in front of the kids, and it was great. It was a really good session, and then he wanted us to come back and do this. I can't remember what it was called, companionship or something, with for all the people that graduate from the school.
Right.
Get to put your robes on, and then whoever comes to visit and actually talk to the kids get to be part of the whole ceremony. And unfortunately, I was about 9 months pregnant with my daughter at the time, so I thought, I can't go, and I was so upset. And of course, when you're pregnant, you're even more emotional. But you know, I missed the opportunity.
So
but Vicky and
pregnancy
Michael
kept you from
yes,
meeting the Beatles.
but the good thing was, my sister Vicky was talking to Paul about kids because she mentioned that
Sure.
I was with child, and then he was going on and on about, oh, she's got to get this book, and it was like something about, I don't know, kids sleeping through the night. I can't remember the name of the book, but he was going on and on.
Baby tips from
Yeah,
Macca.
baby tips from
Nice.
Macca. Yes, that's pretty special.
I did get to see Wings too with Denny Lane. Yeah.
Oh, I did too,
Yeah,
twice.
but never got backstage, of course.
And now you're going to be playing with
Yeah,
Hanging with
yeah.
Denny.
Sharing a Bill, January 12th at McCabe's in Santa Monica. Debbie and John have brought some guitars with them. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, maybe play a song for us?
Yes,
Yes?
Sure.
yes, sure.
All right. You're switched on. You're tuned in to Breakfast with Beatles, 95.5 KLOS and KLOS HD1.